Your LA Wakers are back, and this time we're doing an almost any ability draft league, where almost any Pokemon can have almost any ability. You just saw my team, big shout out to CBMarcus, so let's get right into it. My first pick was Latios because the Drop a Draco 10-year anniversary is in a few days, and I wanted to drop Dracos, especially when they're boosted by its ability Hadron Engine, or my opponent can't resist them with Tinted Lens. Next we have Terrakion because Sword of Ruin close combats and Stone Edges are insanely strong, especially with Stone Edge ignoring Fluffy, which should be seen on most teams. With Zamazenta being banned in this draft league, Terrakion seemed like the next best pick. I didn't want to have to predict Pokemon like Goldengo coming in, so my next ability with it will be Scrappy. My team already hits really hard, so I wanted something that can tank hits on both the physical and special side depending on the EV investment, so that's why we have Regenerator Tinkaton, providing me with status, support, and Stealth Rock, but it also can be an incredibly powerful Pokemon in its own right with its second ability Steelworker, making its Gigaton Hammer very hard to switch into. Next is Volcanion, a Pokemon that I always wanted to draft but never got the opportunity to. We're using Magic Guard, that way we can run a Life Orb and ignore the recoil, as well as the Stealth Rock damage, but we also have Sheer Force to boost Steam Eruption and Flamethrowers. My team's pretty weak to ground, so I wanted a ground resist, which is why we have Ogerpon Grass form next. Typically you'll see it with Grassy Surge ability, but I decided to try a different route since it is draft, and I gave it Queenly Majesty, to ignore first impression from Pokemon like Slitherwing and Chiampow's Ice Shard. My second ability I picked is Sniper because if I pair that with a Razor Claw, my Ivy Cudgels have a 50% chance to crit the opponent, and Sniper crits are incredibly powerful. Continuing that trend of dealing with ground types, we now have Kilowattrel as my next Pokemon with Primordial Sea. This gives me 100% accurate Hurricanes and Thunders, but also gives me a Weather Ball Water form. But my second ability is really heinous, as I have Serene Grace for the 60% Air Slash flinches, the 60% Discharge Paralysis, and the 60% chance for Hurricane to confuse. Donphan's my next pick, giving me Rapid Spin support, as it has Fluffy to also take physical moves from the opponent. I decided to do a secondary ability as Desolate Land to give it an immunity to water, but also shut down Primordial Sea. I told you this month we will be dropping Dracos, so that's exactly what I'm going to do, as my next pick was Hydreigon. And what's a better way to drop Dracos than boosted by Dragon's Maw? But I also have Mega Launcher as my secondary ability, boosting my Dark Pulse and Dragon Pulse. Frostlass is my next Pokemon, giving me a spin blocker and a secondary Pokemon that can set up spikes alongside Ogerpon. I went with Technician's ability to boost its Triple Axle or its Water Pulses, as well as Frost Breath. If I want to hit hard in general, I also have its Beads of Ruin ability. My next pick is Victory Bell with Grassy Surge because Victory Bell has access to Swords Dance, Grassy Glide, and Sucker Punch. It's basically a makeshift Cacturn. Grassy Surge is really good for my team in general, as a lot of my Pokemon are weak to Earthquake. But my secondary ability is Prankster because Victory Bell has access to moves like Strength Sap, Encore, and Toxic. Lastly, I picked my most powerful Pokemon in Kricketune. With its sturdy ability, I can easily get up Sticky Web, but its true power lies in its second ability, Surge Surfer, making it a very threatening sweeper paired with Hadron Engine Latios. So that's my team for this season of the Almost Any Ability Draft League. I tried to draft Pokemon that I don't typically use in AAA. Big shout out to CBMarcus for this awesome video, as well as Princess Autumn for all the help, and Abriel as well. And Week 1 goes live Sunday, June 8th. It'll be a really short 6-week regular season. And my 10-year anniversary Drop a Draco merch comes out on June 5th. So I'll see you all there, and make sure you check out every coach down below. And stay tuned for another season of the LA Wakers.